clothes. You don't need to hear Christian's K presentation. That's something that you could put into your arsenal that you don't know at whatever time, right, Hector, that you might have to whip out and whip on somebody because it's not a part of the straight line. Do you see what I'm saying? So the point I'm making with that is, when are you going to set yourself on fire to say, hey, this thing is legit enough that I'm going to make sure that I show up on every call? That's what we had to do. It was no excuses. I'm sorry, I got myself back talking about what it is we used to do. My bad. So pushing through through the end of the month. I think it's fabulous, Tony, that you created um, that quote. That's a big deal, because a lot of times people get to the end of the month and they're like, whew. So for us, let's say, for instance, it's on Saturday. Now you feel like you can take a break. No, that's not the time to take a break. You use the momentum. And I'm so thankful, Ace, that you're training your team, that the momentum is so precious, guys. You can't feel it. I mean, you can feel it, but you can't put your finger on it. You don't know at which point the momentum is going to start going down, and you don't know when the momentum picked up. You don't know when that happened. So if it's that elusive, then it has to be such that you just got to keep things going. You got to keep that ball rolling. You got to keep the appointments going as if you're pushing through the end of the month, right? So proud of Fatima. Yesterday, she sent me her daily activity of what it was that she did on yesterday. I asked her, I said, hey, sis, what did you rate yourself, right? Those are the kinds of things that I've been doing with my 90-day planner for months and months and months, because that's what it is that I know, those fundamentals that are going to keep my nose to the notebook. I want my team to see that I'm just in the dig, as in the dig as they want to be in the dig. I'm in the dig harder because I was here before you, and trust and believe I'll be here after you. Wayne and Lynette don't need you to be here, right? What it is that we want to do is to be able to help you to see that you are here to be able to help somebody else to be able to grow, be more, do more, have more, give more, tithe more, to be able to have $100,000 cash flow months like my man Deepak Shaw. It's possible, okay? So what does that mean? The biggest thing about that, Kyla, just like what you're doing, making sure that appointments are set. Not just your team setting appointments, but the fact that you're setting appointments outside of that. But Lynette, after the end of the month, it seems like things die down. Well, let that die down for other people. Let that die down for them. How about you, before the month clicks over? Let me give you a little cheat code. You ready for this, Acevedo?
There you go.
The calendar doesn't click over until the 9th. Right, so you'll look on the POL if you're watching the numbers, if you're watching how things are going, right? The calendar doesn't click over until the 9th, so they don't put up the numbers from May 1st to May 8th until May 9th. So
That's
a
right.
cheat code for you should be: beat what it is that you did last month between the 1st and the 8th. Huh? How awesome would that be? What if you even got yourself half the way, and now, boom, within the next week, because of the momentum that you built just in those 7 days, now that's going to put you ahead, because it's not even half the month yet, and you are already halfway through, or you beat what it is that you did. If you did one by one for the whole month of April, do one by one by the 8th of May. So that when it clicks over, guess what? You realize you at the top of the leader sheets.
Mm.
That's what the big people do. They're looking to be at 10 by 10 by the 8th. They're looking to be at 15 by 15, 20 by 20 by the 8th. When that clicks up, when they click, I know I'm looking to see who it is that's at the top of the lead sheets when them numbers click over. Right?
Yeah.
Guys, and so these are the kinds of, and then also just remember, if you're looking to beat any income, right? One of the things I can share with you without fear of contradiction, when Wayne and Lynette got started, from the time they got started up until this day, we have not missed a month making money in our business. Not one single month do you see beside. And if you want to fact check me, I'll pull up the sheets and I will show you not a single month have we missed without making money. So if you're right now, you haven't made any money in your business, your 7-Eleven has been closed, your IHOP has been closed, there's no Popeyes in your chicken, no chicken in your Popeyes, then what it is that you might want to do in order to be able to help people to see your trend track is you got from the 1st to the 8th in order to be able to help a family close an auto and home. We could look. Deepak used to always say an app a day keeps the bill collectors away. That's what Deepak said. Lynette, how do you know that? Because I showed up for trainings. I didn't miss trainings. I didn't
Right.
think I was all
Facts.
that I don't have to come to try. I don't want to hear that today. To me, training is like church. Just when you don't feel like going to church, you decide, right, Denise? You decide that you want to get dressed and go to church. And man, you'd have been mad if you missed that blessing. You'd have been mad if you missed that blessing. So, what I'm saying is, you got 8 days in order to be able to close something so that those numbers appear for you and you wouldn't have missed a month making money. Listen, but Lynette, I've been in the business for a year. I haven't done anything. And okay, guess what? Here's how you say it. From the time I decided to let the David out, from the time I decided to set myself on fire, I didn't miss a month making money. Right? And then that's when your track record starts. But see, that comes because you're going to continue to keep working through the month. Like Tony said, work through the month, not to the end of the month.
Yeah.
Right? That's what the broke-minded people do. Okay? So that's all it is that I have.
Awesome, Lynette.
Remember, we have some below RVP people that I invited, and they agreed to share their thoughts too after the RVP.
Absolutely. Just call them out, and Matt can put them on this thing. So let's save some time for them too, guys.
Well, what I'll do is after we take our turns, we can replace it with the next person.
Okay.
That's
So
how
who do you want to? Who did you reach out to?
No. Y'all go ahead.
Okay. So, you know, Deepak, he's made more money in the last 2 months than most people would wish they can make in 3 or 4 years. Okay. The average American makes $37,000 a year before taxes. There's only about 100, the last time I saw it, it was like 117, 120,000 people that file taxes over 1 million or more, right? Deepak is one of the hardest workers I've ever seen. This guy is like literally always on appointments, always seeing people. I've never seen Deepak like go, oh, I made 100,000 last month. No, he's like, oh, no. He rewards himself by going to India for a month and a half, right? Or go to Chicago or travel, right? But that comes with time. So Deepak, what are your thoughts about working? And by the way, Lynette, that is so brilliant because in the early days when we turn on the computer, it was like the 8th or 9th of the month. It's like, holy crap, this person's already at 50 grand in the base shop. That's because they have that attitude. And I never looked at it that way as a cheat code. I love it. Deepak, give us your thoughts real quick.
Sure, man. Good morning, everyone. So, it's everything about what do you want to achieve from our business, right? So it's a month end or, it's a 30 days. Yes. And in Primerica, it says that, you are fired and you are hired the same day. Right? So that's a good part of it. So if you are not doing good until today, just change that number. Tell yourself you are rehired again, in Primerica. But everything comes down to why did you join Primerica? Why did you join our company? What excited you when you heard Lynette Gerris or Ace or Tony or Hector or Gusto, right? So what made you join our company? Right? So remember that. And then let's work on that. And it will work only, like I talked last time also, write down how much money do you want to make. Write it down. Either it's $100, $500, $20,000, whatever money you want to make, write it down. Again, remember, money is not everything. but that will help
It's
you,
it's up there. It's up there with air.
air or close to an oxygen, right?
Yeah.
So write it down, guys. And if you write it down, your mind will tell your body to work and go out and work.
Facts.
People need our help. Like yesterday is, when you call, I was sitting with a family. So that person brought his two sons, and they all are teenagers. And they put everybody together. So like I was doing a mini op meeting over there. I just went because I was field training one of my agent. And think about the young kids were so excited because numbers do not lie, right? Numbers are numbers. And they are investing money, Hector, but their money is growing like 15% and 17% a year. And I can share with you some of my clients who gave me permission to share, Tony, their money grew 65 and 68% in 1 year.
Wow.
Think about,
Deepak,
remember
on
Christian
that
talk
note,
about if your money grows even 1, 2, or 5% different, that's a huge difference in your retirement. So if you sit down with someone, see that you educate them, you talk to them like you are the person, you are the angel for that family.
Facts.
But after a long time, I drove to Upper Marlboro. I don't know, I don't go out too much driving, Lynette, nowadays, because I do most of the things either in the office or 95% on Zoom. But when
Right.
you sit down with someone, see that your goals are clear,
Beautiful.
right? And my goal is always from the beginning that if I don't make money, I will be at my job. And that is a nightmare for Deepak Shah.
Well, they're
I
hiring at the
always,
seven. They're hiring at the 7-Eleven next to my house.
right? 7-Eleven. So Lisa, my goal was to make money so nobody forced me to go to work. Right? So do the same
Awesome,
thing.
man.
Go out, make money. And if you don't make
Yeah,
money, you cannot pay the bills.
that's
And if
awesome.
you cannot pay the bills, don't blame anyone, right? I'm telling you as your friend or as a brother, right? So don't blame anyone. Come out and talk to 10 more people. And that's all is I
Awesome.
always focus on, that. And I love
Yeah,
helping people.
facts. You
Right?
do. You
All
do.
right.
And listen, we were trying to keep it so, but I don't want to, how do I say this? I don't want to cut anybody off. So let's just go till 10, okay? Forget it. All right, forget it. So real quick, Tony, give us your best 2 minutes on you actually gave me um that line. I treat every day like the last day of the month. In other words, you have a sense of urgency because you're trying to hit a goal, right? And that's something that you developed here because you were a mechanic, right? So you learned that here. So any advice for the 54 people that are here in terms of work? Because I told Christian, listen, Tony, I told Christian yesterday, I said, Christian, we have Frank Dillon is calling me. We have something really, really good happening right now. We got not me, the organization. And we have to stay focused on message, bringing new people on board, licensing, production, overcoming objections, referrals, investments, right? It's got to be, the message has got to be the fundamentals. That's it, right? Because I understand the economy, all that stuff. I don't care about the economy because most of my clients, Shonda, they ain't got no economy. They don't have any money because they don't care what the market is doing. We just have to we're wealth builders. We're not wealth managers. Okay. So Tony, advice.
I'm going to talk to you about three things. If this has any value, use it. It has worked for me. And again, like Ace said, I did not create all this. There's certain things you have a philosophy, but other things we have learned from other leaders. Deepak, on your point, you just said we're sitting with a client, and we had a client, his portfolio 78% increased in 3 years. And I was sharing one of the person who's an accountant and worked 50 years in accounting, Lynette, when he says he couldn't even believe your account can grow 78%. I mean, he's literally jumping. He said, how in the world that's even possible? And his 401k 457 is doing 3.4%. Could not understand it. And the reason you don't understand, because you are not part of something huge so big which can help change people, change all their lives. So I'm going to talk to you about three things only. Write these numbers down, 25 to 25. This came from a Frank Dillon. You want your month to be good? This came strictly from Frank Dillon. And I said, what is 25, 25? He said, your month is not 30 days month. It goes from 25 to 25. So you end your month on the 25th start your month on the 25th of the month. You end your month on the 25th of the month. The 5 days is a bonus to you. So if now this last 5 days, 6 days, what we have, if you are a 0, 0, and if you don't take this 5 days, just imagine this is the end of the month and the month had only 5 days. And that month started today. So 5 days month. If you have only 5, what if there's only 5 days in a month? Where would you end up at the end of the month? And what you're going to do today, that's going to show up, the result of that. It may not show up here. It may show up on next month. And if you don't do anything in next 5 days, trust me, the next month going to be the same or the worse, which says 0 and 0. So you have to accelerate in the beginning of the month. Don't look at Ace, don't look at Hector, don't look at all these leaders, because they have done what it takes to be here. Lynette, you didn't show up just because you could talk so much. You had to put, before the team was there, before you became a $300,000 earner, before you became all that, you had to put your butt on a line. I remember you dragging your kids to an appointment. So you had made a decision, no matter what it takes, I will make it happen, because there's no other choice. And Ace, in the closing, I want to, and once you do the large numbers, I was looking at the numbers, I pay attention. Jamari, he's number 22 or 23 in the whole country on a personal production. Big shout out to them, man. That excites me. I mean, not only he's competing at a Maryland state level, now he's number 22 out of 150,000 people. You know how big that is?
Yeah. I told him yesterday, I'm not
going to jump up the street. But that can only happen if you have a lot of numbers. Ace won't have that, Jamari, if he was doing a six recruits a month. There's no Jamari there. You don't have anything working for. So work with the large numbers. Take this next 5 days as a month end and see what you can do in this month.
Absolutely.
Can I say one thing, Ace?
Where did you go?
Let's say one thing. Remember, most people want to go RVP, right?
Yes, sir.
And RVP is why most people go there, because there are some bonuses company gives. The company gives bonus to two people. One is brand new associates, and second thing, RVPs. We get 10% bonus every month on the production what our whole base shop does. Right, Ace?
Yes.
So 95% people, you guys are not RVP. So how you are going to get bonus? So this was in my mind the day I joined, like Tony just said, we learned from other leaders. So Frank Dillon. So I put in my mind, Shanda, that whatever I do first 25 days, that is like I work as an agent. But whatever I do in the last 5 days, that is my bonus as an RVP.
That's
Even
it.
though I
That's
was
it.
a regional leader or district manager, last 5 days work is my bonus. Treat me as a bonus, as RVP. Right?
Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely, man. That was good, Tony. Thank you. Um,
Thanks,
and
Tony,
and
for reminding. Yes.
yeah, it's bringing back memory, Shonda, of how the way, when we were in the base shop, we were all in the base shop together, right? But it brings back um memories how
What got us here?
what got us like. And by the way, none with the exception of Deepak, none of us feel like we've arrived. We've done a good stuff, right? When you run a big base shop, you get a lot of stock, right? I've been fortunate to be been paid 4,500 shares of Primerica, right? So it's a few dollars, okay? So, but here's the thing: I learned from my past, and I learned from my mistakes, and that's why we had this conversation. Is because no, we're not reading the press, we're not reading the headlines. Nope, I've made that mistake. Oh, let's go have a big team party. No, 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 no. We're just getting started. 9 months ago, Shonda, 9 months ago, we got started to build this momentum. Now, you guys seen that we've been averaging about 30 recruits a month and stuff like that. Some people fall off on so, but it's 9 months. So, Hector Lazo, talk to me. Give me 2 minutes, okay? 2 minutes of Hector Lazo made six figures while he was still in college, okay? Something like that, or
Something like that.
something like that, okay?
But
Um,
I want to shout out your
right.
team because you guys have been putting in the work. So you definitely, even though you don't want to celebrate, you definitely deserve everything that's coming to you. And I would say just the same things that got you there, keep doing those same things, working through the month. Because we've noticed when people we used to use this thing called sandbagging, where people would be like, "Well, I got these two or three, but I'm not gonna put them through at the end of the month, and I'm gonna start the
Yeah.
month off on top of the sheets." Because what happens is
Forgot about that
a lot
word.
of those things fall off anyways, right? And you never build momentum in your business, right? You guys are working, so you have no idea what I'm talking about, but there are people that think like that, okay? Where they hold off. When you hold off, it's tough to build momentum. So just keep working through the end of the month, like all these guys have been saying. And just it all starts with a goal. The mind is like a goal seeking, machine, right? So if you set a goal for yourself, you just attack it. And I think, yeah, just congratulations to
I
you guys
can't share them right
that
now.
are
You
putting
gotta
in
wait
numbers.
till the end.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Christian's in
Okay,
here.
so then we got
Monitor this one.
Matt, mute yourself, Matt. I can hear you. Miguel Lazo. Miguel Lazo Miguel Lazo was actually an easy person. I didn't train him. I recruited him, but I didn't train him. But Miguel Lazo was an easy person to bring on board simply because he already came from being a creator of work versus producer. He used to be a mortgage loan officer. He used to be um, his wife was a real estate agent that had their own office right there on Research Boulevard. I remember having, helping you move out of that office, right? So Miguel, you know, in the loan business, right? I don't think the loan business has the end of the month. They have like, what's the next case, right? So talk to us about working through the month. By the way, I think Miguel still holds the record, Jay. Okay. I think he still holds the record in Maryland as a regional leader at 86,000 by 100 new associates. So we're coming after that record, Miguel. Okay. We're coming after it. But go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, hey, congrats, man. You guys are number one. Got a close strong to,
Yes, sir.
keep it up, and you're close to 50,000. That's
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
So yeah, we gotta keep pushing, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be, who are we gonna talk to today, right? So one thing that we always doing, but sometimes at the end of the month we're pushing more is, where do we find leads? So one way could be looking up your previous clients, to do a follow-up call to say hello, or giving some kind of update, or let them know that there's a new app for Primerica where they can see this their stuff. But then that creates an opportunity ask him, hey, by the way, do you happen to know anybody maybe looking for an opportunity or maybe to protect their family or to have a financial plan, right? So all we got to do is just try to be in front of somebody, and that's the catch. Or sometimes we learn, but we don't talk to people out there. So
That's right.
but you got to start doing that little by little, especially if you are new in the business. You got to put in practice everything that you hear from all the leaders here, and just try to catch some ideas until you start feeling more comfortable. Because I know at the beginning it's kind of, even if you have maybe experience in different business, it might be a little bit scary or challenging of okay, what will they think about me if I say this? What if they ask me a question and I don't know what to answer? But you gotta start one day, right? Because if you don't talk to people, if you don't set up appointments, if you don't do appointments, then it's not gonna move. And time is gonna pass, and we're still gonna be in the same situation. And
Beautiful.
money is made at the appointment, so that's what we got to be looking for: appointments, prospecting. Wherever we are, got to be out making friends, chit chat with people, exchange numbers, and then now you have somebody to follow up with. I'm sure we talked to a lot of people during the month, so now we have to follow up with all those people that we interact with. One thing that we also check is terminated clients. There's a section there where you have for terminated clients. You can go all the way back to 10 years and see, and they say, hey, by the way, we have this, we have that. One thing that you can offer also, talk to people about, is about investing. So even though you are not licensing for, let's say, securities, but talk to your RVP and say, hey, I'm going to be calling my clients and tell them about investing. I'm going to refer them to you. And when you talk to the client, tell them that now we have Zoom. After the pandemic, everything's done through Zoom. So my manager can give you an idea of financial planning, investing, which is right now the economy is doing well in the investment side, and try to schedule something like that. But what you're looking for is an opportunity to talk to them, to ask for a referral, to see they may need more coverage, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. CRM, baby, the CRM. By the way, talking about Primerica's always innovating. They put me on me and a couple of our guys on a new thing called Primerica Social, not Primerica Social, Primerica something, where they put Brad Gerard first, and he goes, this new app that's going to come out, it's not out yet. He got 17 clients because it connects the app to the CRM, and it's incredible what they're doing. Susan Chana, she's in charge of technology. She works directly with Pete Schneider. So she called me yesterday, man, I need 3 or 4 of your guys. And that, guys, Primerica's always working on them. Are you working on yourself? And investments is a huge part. 58% of all cash flow is coming from investments. So Augusto, give me 2 minutes. Okay? Give me, darling.
Good morning, everybody. I'm very fast what I'm gonna say. I see the last, let's say, 20 years. How big is the transformation? I see people 20 years ago compared to today. I'm so lucky to learn from you, Ace, the Deepak, Tony Rain. I don't want to leave anybody behind, but we are so lucky on a Tuesday morning. We are together and learn from each other. This is so huge. Nobody come to us to rescue us. We have to go out and share the good news, because I just read this morning about retirement. People are so scared. People prefer to die. The percentage is so huge.
My goodness.
Is a growing number of Americans now fear running out of money in retirement. Wow. 67%. People prefer to die because they run out of money. And we are lucky with the information we have, and go and share, because Everybody
That is
needs
so
us. If
sad.
they have money, they need us. If they don't have money, they still need us. Everybody
Wow.
needs us. And the guy like Jay and the people do a lot of numbers. Don't stop. Just grow and then keep the pedal on the metal. And
Awesome,
we're gonna do
Augusto.
good things in our business. Thank you
Awesome,
very much.
Augusto. I appreciate it, man. So we got some below RVPs here. No, that's not the word. Future RVPs here. You know, you guys are all have been consistent, showing up, getting better, that kind of stuff. So, working through the month, right, Jay? We talked about. Well, Shonda, you were up first. So, but Jay will tell you that it's like Jay right now is annoyed with me. I'm like, bro, you got to get on this call, right? Because he's got tons of appointments. He's got how many names you have to call, Jay, right now?
I had like another 30 calls.
Yeah, so we'll get it done
Yeah, let
quickly. All
Jay
right, don't
go
worry.
first because
All right, Jay,
he's
go ahead, Jay. Go ahead. Give us your thoughts about working through the month, the mindset that it takes to, because you've been working really hard, Damo. I always tell people, listen, you don't get to say, I've been here 7 years. You get to say from the day you actually started working. Because Little Ace, for example, Little Ace has been with me now, licensed 3.5 years, but he's not here. He's That's cool. So he can't say, "Oh, I've been here for 4 years." No, you haven't. The day you decide to work is the day you get started. Anyway, go ahead, Jay, man. Working through the month.
Yeah, so good morning everyone. Hope you're having a blessed morning. We always tell our team working through the month, you gotta kind of hold yourself accountable right now. Obviously, we got a few days left in the month, so it's like, hey, where are you at? If you're not happy with where you're at, then it's still time to make the adjustments necessary to finish the month off strong, going into a new month. So either way, you finishing strong is you starting off strong in a new month. So that's how I always thought about it. So you got to lay all your resources out on the line. You got to find out who is it that you have showing up. One thing that I was noticing listening to this call that I'm on Wednesdays, the number one base shop, RVP Dharma, he's saying like, yo, your focus is you gotta identify the players. And when you identify the players, then you work with those players. So you got to identify your players. Who do you have? What are your resources? What do you have on the books? Hey, even if it's just you, then you got to figure something out. You got to make something happen. You either got to go back down your life conservation, make some calls, follow up with some old clients or some old teammates, and come up with a plan for yourself, man. As far as like, what is it that you want to focus on going into a new month? How you finish this month. You got to hold yourself accountable with being honest with yourself on what did you not do? What did you not do that you need to do? And that's really this business is really doing the things that you don't feel like doing all the damn time, unfortunately. But you pushing through, and you get the results, and then you see. You're like, so now I know. I told coach this morning, he's like, get on. I'm like, bro, I got calls. Like I gotta be serious on my schedule and my calls. I gotta hold myself accountable to it. So I'm just gonna share one thing that Dominique and I are kind of focusing on right now where we're at. And we want to focus on at least 20 of our licensed agents. We want to get them committed to a common goal. At least like we're gonna finish off this month strong, and then we're gonna go into a new month focused on a common goal. So we know if we get 20 licensed agents who can do 5,000 in premium, what's that? That's $100,000 base right there.
100,000, bro.
If we can get 20 of them to just do 2K, Shonda. That's 500 in premium a week. That's it. That's a what? $50, $49 app? $45 app? Just 20 of them doing 2K, that's a 40K base. And then 20 of them doing 2,500 is a 50K base. So it's like when you break down the numbers like that, you just gotta run the play. That's it.
It's awesome, Jay, man. I appreciate you.
let's go, bro.
Let's go, man. And listen, I promise you, I don't know what the saying is, all ties, raise all ships. That's the goal. That's the goal, guys. And I promise you, I don't know if I said it right, but I'm more scared now than I was 8 months ago. 8 months ago, I was frustrated. But listen, this time last year, I think Jay did like 3 new associates. A whole team did 7. Okay. But it's 9 months of no BS, focus. You know what? Do what you got to do. And Frank Dillon, which by the way, he called me twice. So do what you got to do. Okay. But then Frank Dillon actually said, all you need is one rabbit. A rabbit is somebody that leads the team. He said, my rabbit was Joe Tanzi. But out of Joe Tanzi, my other 30 RVPs came from that leg replacements. You work with one person that is absolutely committed, and then that person works with one person that's absolutely, so Joe Tanzi, is an SNSD, right? So anyway, Shonda Patterson, I said it right this time. This girl's, she's my second sister. My main sister is Lynette, but she's my second sister. I bust her chops. See, I can talk bad about Shonda. Shonda can talk bad about me, but nobody else better talk about Shonda because I'll kick your ass. All right. So Shonda, I'm just kidding. That's what I say about my sisters. Shonda, give us some advice, girl.
So thank you for for having me, and good morning, everybody. I don't know. I was thinking about it, and I just at the end of the month, I always think about Lisa Jones, and she says, if your bank account doesn't motivate you, I don't know what to tell you. If you look at your bank account and that's not motivating for you, if you to look at your bank account and you're not saying to yourself, man, like I need to, get it together, make some money. I don't know what else to tell you. And the way that we get paid here is by going on appointments. And the challenge with many of us is we're so afraid, especially if you're newer, maybe so afraid about what other people think about you, that you are afraid to open your mouth. You're afraid to talk to people. You're afraid to go out and say stuff because of what people are thinking. First and foremost, people not thinking about you. They got so many other things to think about. They worried about themselves, their bills, their life, their marriage, their kids. They ain't worried about you. And secondly, you want to know if people talking about you when you asking them for an appointment, let you get set out or your car get repoed or your lights get cut off, then they really gonna talk about you. So you better go make some money. Because they have a lot to say. If you most people get in our business because we need to make money, but then as soon as it's time to make money, you say, I don't want people saying anything about me. Well, which one do you want? Would you rather them say something about you because you asking them about a business, or would you rather them say something about you because your car got repoed, you got laid, you ain't got no money, you asking them for $20? So either way, the moral of the story is that people are going to talk about you. but you can figure out why people are going to talk. Would you rather them talk about you for this, or would you rather them talk about you for this? Really, I would say just lean into your strengths, whatever they may be. Many people think they don't have a market, but you always have a market. You're developing a market everywhere you go, whether it's, coworkers, church members. You got to sit down and really think about all of sit down, and if you don't have anyone to call, take a piece of paper today and just go through the last 10 years of your life and write all the things you were involved in. Where did you work? What organizations have you been a part of over the last 10 years? What memories or events stand out to you over the last 10 years? And then write down anyone you can think of that was a part of that memory. And at the end of that list, I promise you're going to have some people to call that you haven't thought about calling. Okay, so you just have to really lean into what you're doing, and also be really coachable. I mean, that's one of the things that I think helped me out and that I leaned into in the beginning, is that they asked me to do something, I did it. And I think nowadays what happens is when you ask people to do something or you're telling them that this is what it takes, they're always thinking about, well, I don't have to do it that way. Or why? You know, anybody have kids and you ask them to do something and they keep on saying why? How do you
Yeah.
feel when they do that?
I'm a
I don't know about
backslap
nobody
you.
else, but yeah, like
I feel
I'm a
annoyed.
backslap.
annoyed, right? You're annoyed.
Like,
You're
please
annoyed.
stop.
Please stop. Like you might answer why the first time, but like, you know, the second, third, fourth, it's like, come on now, be for real, right? So many people, when we first start, that's exactly how your coach feels about you. You saying, hey, do this, and then you know why? Well, what if I do it this way? Or what if I do it that way? And the whole time you thinking, well, I'm the parent. I'm trying to tell you I've already been here, done that, got the t-shirt. I'm trying to lead the way. And you keep asking me why? Why? Well, I don't want to do it like this. I'm going to do it like this. How do you think your coach feels about you if that's how you're behaving? Right? Be coachable. And then the last thing I want to say is stop trying to coach people if you're not doing anything.
Oh, that's exactly right.
You cannot coach people if you are not doing
That's
anything.
good.
You trying to tell your person, oh, because that's my new teammate. But what you doing? So you telling them to do all this stuff and you ain't doing nothing. You are just like the parent, and kids, they hate when you telling them to do something and you doing something else because they like, well, you ain't doing it. You know, that's that do as I say, not as I do parents. And kids don't like that. And you know, you didn't like that about your parents either. When they said that you couldn't do something, but they was doing it, right? People don't like that about you. You telling them, call people, make appointments, talk to people, and they see you doing nothing. How you think they feel about you? Right? You have to lead from the front. Call people, you talk to people, you prospect people, have your calendar full. If they see those things happening about you, then maybe they'll listen to you. Until then, stop calling people your people. Let somebody else coach them that's doing something until you feel like you're in a space too. That's how you build momentum. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. And Lisa Jones actually says we got too many damn people that want to be coaches and not enough players. You know, there's way too many people trying to be coach instead of players. So, and by the way, when you get to RVP, guys, you know, which I call the ultimate contract, and we'll wrap it up. We got a couple more folks we want to hear from. But when you get that, Omar Orepez always says this is an I did business. You don't get to RVP by accident, not because your coach is your uncle. Well, that might happen, but not in this organization. My son is going to earn an RVP promotion, and he's going to leave me a replacement too. Okay. So, having said that, listen. Thank you, Shonda. We lost somebody, but Denise, go ahead. Wait, what's going on?
Hey, who you lost?
Hang
Somebody
on.
else? Oh,
We lost two. We lost Kyla.
Matthew?
Sorry, I had to switch over to my computer.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Denise.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So Ace and Lynette and RVPs, thank you so much for doing this. This is genius. This is leadership, folks, because we got a message from Lynette saying that she wanted to highlight us and wanted us to speak a little bit on closing through the month. And that's excellent because when you have to speak on it, it shows you what you're doing or not doing and pushes you to even do what you need to do. So thank you so much for that. But I do have some things to say. One is basically when you're looking at the end of the month or even through the next month, you want to know your numbers. That's one of the things that we shy away from, or it's kind of hard to do. Like, for instance, you want to be clear about where you are and what you want and what was your goal. How much premium did you want to meet? How much money did you want to make by the end of that month? And you may not be anywhere near it, but still you need to ask yourself and figure out how many appointments do I need to do this? And you might think, oh my God, that's too many. I can't do that by the end of the month. We only have 5 days. But if you're pushing and you're working towards that, you're going to hit something, which means you're not going to end the month with 0-0. So you're going to hit something. It may not be that goal, but the good part is that you are pushing towards it to make better, to do better. So it's how many appointments do you need? How many presentations? How many people, once you talk to, that you need to say yes to you? Because if you don't know what that gap is, and I'm talking big time to myself, if you don't know what the gap is between where you are and what you want, then you can't close it. You can't see what it is. But then also you want to, a lot of, everybody has been saying this, you want to increase your activity, not your emotion. Because we get emotional by month end. We get stressed out, we get anxious, and then we start pressuring people or trying to pressure people to do something. But we can't do that, or we should not do that. Our activity, not our emotion, closes. So we want to look at making more calls, more follow-ups, more appointments. And you might say, well, you're saying that, but how do I do that? Well, when you think about the month end, it's not necessarily about new people. It's about the people that you've already met and folks that you've talked to down the road. Those people that told you, oh, well, let me think about it, or I need to talk to my spouse, or I'll get back to you. Those people that have said those things to you along the way. And all of us have somebody, even if you knew, you have somebody that have said some of those things to you. So you have your reports, which everybody's been talking about. That's your terminated reports. It's on, some of us has never looked at POL, but those reports are out there that we should check constantly anyway. But even if you haven't, then you want to go and look at those reports, those terminated reports, those clients that terminated. A lot of times we don't know why those clients terminated. We think they just did or they just dropped off. There could be things that happened during that time that was unforeseen. Sometimes it's just closed bank accounts, but we never followed up. So you want to follow up with them, your life conservation, and definitely that CRM. So when you're looking at the CRM, if you're looking to close life, call those clients that you might have that have security but don't have life. Or if you're looking to maybe get securities, call those clients that have life policies with you, but they don't have securities. So you want to circle back with some value, not with pressure though. So, hey, I was thinking about you. Just wanted to make sure that you had what you needed to move forward. If they said, I want to think about it, you have what you needed to move forward. Let's talk about that. I need to talk to my spouse. Hey, is this a good time for us to get together and talk to your spouse? So the whole thing is just about getting out of our own way and out of our comfort zone and making those calls. If you look through your phone, I guarantee you in this day and age, there is nobody that can say they have nobody to call and nobody's in their phone, because you have phone numbers in your phone. So some people say, well, I don't even know who these people are. Even the better. I've called people like that that's been in my phone that I don't remember who they are, but you're in my phone. So I had to have met you somewhere along the line. So I'll call them and say something like, hey, I know this is like shot in the dark and different, but your number is in my phone. And I am Denise. Do you remember where we might have met each other at? Because I know your number's in my phone, so we had to have met. And you should feel okay calling somebody like that because they're in your phone. So somewhere along the line, you did meet them. But then you also don't want to just do you. If you have teammates, you want to actually talk with your teammates. And where are they? Help them out. Who is it that you need to call? What do we need to do to get you to where you need to be at this month? And you need to be willing right there and willing to help them to do that, to make those calls if they need to be, or just to do some coaching on the spot. Because they may call you and says, I have this person and I don't know what to say. Okay, well, let me help you with that. and just do that right on the spot. So that's it, guys. That's what I
That's
have.
awesome.
Open
Thank you,
up.
Denise. Listen, before people hop off, just sit tight here for just another 4 minutes, please. I do want to make a quick announcement. Lynette, if you don't have any appointments, connect with the LFIC call. Okay, that's should be in the Dream Chaser chat. If not, Matt will put it up. Right, she's going to be hosting that call, and I think the subject is still going to be the same. Right, closing out. Right, working through the month, that kind of stuff. So show your love for Lynette. Right,
Yeah,
Lynette.
it's actually group presentations. They wanted me to talk on doing
Oh,
one.
okay, group presentation. So if you don't have an appointment at 12, hop on, get your learn on because Lynette is she's an owner. Okay, so
She's a superstar.
Kyla, give me 2 minutes, and then Matt closes out with 2 minutes. Okay, go ahead, Kyla.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I just want to say, kind of like what everybody else is saying, the end of the month doesn't matter. I mean, that's how I look at it. The end of the month to me doesn't matter because I'm filling my end of the month into the beginning of the month. Like Lynette said, what am I going to have on the board between the 1st and the 8th? That's going to be the activity that you did at the end of the month. So if you don't have activity through the end of the month, then you're not going to have nothing at the beginning of the month. So there's no slowing down. There's no breaks. There's no taking time off. Like, oh, the month end is on the 1st. On the 2nd, you should be doing appointments, hiring your first new associate. There's no pausing. There's no waiting. And so when you have that mindset, and it really just is our environment, from Ace, down to Jay, to me, we all are on the same accord with our team, have the same message to our team, saying the same things to our team. And now down from me to Jamori, he's going to start creating those people on his team with that same mentality and mindset. It's no excuses for me. Like, I've got this girl right here. She's crying. She's begging me for Chick-fil-A. I can't be broke with these kids. So it's no reason why people aren't making money in this business, because it's so easy to make. I got paid 7 times this month, so most people at their job only got paid twice, maybe 4 times, because you get paid every week or every other week. I got paid 7 times, and most of that was passive.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I was, I got to reset with Anita, but I also got to learn and grow, and my mindset is shifted on why it's so important to be fully licensed, why it's so important to fight all the way through to get fully licensed, because we aren't doing our clients any justice if we're just putting them in term. They might as well get whole life. At least they got something, right? With some cash value if they don't have any investments.
That's right.
So you have to get fully licensed, and you have to always don't think about it being the month end. Think about where do you want to end when the month clicks over? If you're at 0 by 0, we've got people who did 3 recruits in one day, 5 recruits in one day. So it's no reason why anybody should be at 0-0 in these next couple of days, because you can do so much. You can help somebody with an auto and home quote. It's very simple. Erica, she's not asking people. She's calling people and saying, hey, I'm going to set an appointment for you to see if you can save money on your car insurance. What's your email? What day and time are you available to take this call? Stop asking people. People are employees. They need to be told what to do.
Right.
We're going to get your life insurance policy done tomorrow. What time are you free? Stop asking people for stuff because they're not used to that. I used to ask people, like, in the interview, well, how much money do you want to make a month? They're like, oh, I don't know. I never thought about that. Nobody ever asked me that. I'm like, all right, well, listen, I'm going to stop asking that question, because people don't know. You got to tell them. So you got to tell people what to do. You got to tell people when you're going to do it. And then you just kind of give them options. Does today or tomorrow work? We're going to hop on. I'm going to see you tomorrow. What time works best? You got to tell people, stop asking people stuff because they're not used to that. They're used to their boss telling them what to do. Most people are used to their mom telling them what to do, used to their spouse telling them what to do. So guess what? We're going to tell them what to do. Let's sit down and get your financial needs analysis done. When are you free? Today or tomorrow? Evening or afternoon? But that's the mindset that you have to go through these last couple of days, because that is going to push you into the next month. If you're not doing nothing now, you can't just pick up your activity on the second. No, you got to keep the momentum going so that your second, your third, your fourth day in the month is smooth. You got appointments already set. So that's it.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Kyla. Listen, one thing.
Hey, shout out to Kyla too. She about to win her first trip. Let's go. Her and Jamore.
Let's go. Hey, Kyla, call me about that, okay? I want to show you some numbers, okay? But one of the things that every person that, you guys and Matt, you can close this out, right? But every great leader that I've met, they have these calls in the morning, just to let you know. It's called, Henry Pimentel calls it Start Your Day Right, right? And they sit there, they start at 8 in the morning and they go from like 8 to 10. They go 2 hours and they're talking about activity and mindset and what happened last night and all that stuff. So we usually spend just an hour and a few minutes, but this is to help you get your mind right. Some people like to go to the gym first thing in the morning. I don't like the morning. I like in the afternoon because when I hit my sauna, I feel great and I sleep great, right? So I'm going to challenge you. This is my closing thoughts. Look, I don't need to be on these calls. I want to be on these calls. I don't agree with Christian and everything he does and says, right? But I want to be, because I'm stupid if I don't think I can learn, right? So I learn from Christian. I get better when I'm around Christian. Encourage your people that even if they're part-time, to stick in, listen, learn, get better. Listen, Art Martinez is going to crush it. We can't slow down. We can't start talking about this at the end of May. This is going to come by fast. I believe this will be the biggest attendance for our team, meaning Christian's hierarchy. I think it's going to be one of the biggest attendance. Get your tickets. Get your hotel room. I stayed at the hotel, even though I live 10 minutes up the street. Save money so that if you have anybody from out of town, you can take care of lunch for them, right? Spend time with them. I know Jay Damo took out some ladies from New Jersey, took them out to dinner, right? We took out Shandaria, Jay, right? We want to spend time with our people, okay? So working through the month, Matt, talk to us, boss.
I got only a couple things to say. I won't be long. Art Williams said, all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. And that's important if you're actually doing all you can do. But the question is, how many people are actually doing all they can do, right? I was listening to a podcast over the weekend, and it was talking about being the best you can actually be. And if you're being the best you can be, you can almost win it all the time. But the problem is most people aren't the best they could be. Kobe said, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. And so you don't have to be the most talented. You just need to be the best that you can be. And your version of you, it is enough, right? When Bruce was talking to us, he says, you are enough. You already have everything that you need inside you to win. You just got to find it, kind of like the Michelangelo and David. Like you have it in you. You just got to find that perfect picture or whatever it is of you. And then the last thing is, I think the way, for me personally, I committed to filling out the accountability sheet that Ron sent with Christian. So putting on paper what I'm doing every day, every 30 minutes, so that I can look at it at the end of the day. I did good last week. We got 5 people started last Thursday. Friday, I did kind of good. Saturday and Sunday, I slacked off, right? Yesterday, I talked to Christian Sunday. I said I'd fill out the sheet. Yesterday, I did everything I needed to do. Today, I'm up early. I'm ready to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill out my sheet and I'm going to fill it out every day. And that's how I'm going to hold myself accountable, because when I look at a piece of paper that shows that I didn't do what I should have done, the only person I can blame is me. And so I don't want to say I did bad. I don't want to tell my wife that I didn't do the right thing, or that the people on my team that are supposed to be looking up to me. And so, like Shonda was talking about, go do it yourself. Go be the one, and then other people will follow. And that's why I believe, Ace, you guys are growing how you are, is because you've been there doing the 12 and 5 every day, and Jay's been there, and Kyla's been there, and now other people are coming in that are new, and it all just compounds over time. But if somebody doesn't do it every day, then nobody's going to do it ever. So
yeah,
that's all. And hold yourself accountable.
I appreciate it, man. That's exactly right, guys. As we close, just Christian's getting a surgery today. I don't know for what. He mentioned something, but it wasn't because of cancer.
Hernia.
Hernia. That's right. He did say that, a hernia. And so, he'll be fine. My closing thoughts, guys, is we don't have to, but one of the things that most people are not is consistent. They're consistently inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, guys, I created a habit, and I'll tell you this, Angelica, I always pick the person in the center of my screen. I'm going to tell you this, Angelica. So when I first got started in the business and I went full time, about almost 5 years after I got my license, I had to leave my apartment building before 7 a.m. This is a true story. I had to leave my apartment building. Otherwise, I had to pay for the parking for the entire night. Okay. But if I got out of the parking lot at 7 a.m., I didn't have to pay. So what the hell am I going to do at 7 a.m.? Sit outside, but I can't park on the street, right? I used to live in downtown Silver Spring. So what I started doing, I said, well, let me go to Gaithersburg. So it would take me about 30, 40 minutes to get there with traffic. And then I would get into the office sometime around 8 o'clock, sometimes 8:30. Okay, there's rules. I don't know if those rules still exist, but back then at 8:30, you couldn't call anybody until 9. It was called a do not call list, right? We had to check that list all the time. And it's you are not the do not call list. If not, you can get sued by the person. So, okay, what do I do from 8 to 9? Self-develop, study. And to this day, Deepak, you notice I'm literally always in the office, usually by 8. Yesterday, I got here at 7:30. So what do? I pick up my book, check my emails, pray, spend some time with the Lord, right? Look at my schedule, right? So I still use paper. I think paper is a good idea. Okay, I have to call this person. I have to call that person. I have to follow up with this. This person never called me back. So develop a habit that's going to help you be consistent at the small stuff. For the new people, okay, can I talk to 3 people today? That's it. If you're brand new, can I call 3 people? And by the way, if you're new in the business, don't do this on your own. Use the RVPs and your managers that are on this call. Don't do this on your own. If you have a question, call me. Not me, but your leaders. So that way, that consistency is what's going to help you work through the mud. I've literally worked every day, Deepak. For the last 8 months, we've done 4 meetings a day, 7 days a week. I just told my team on Saturday, look, I'm taking Sundays off so I can be with my parents. My father is 76, my mom's 76. I'm always working. They want us around, right, with the kids and the grandkids. So, but don't be afraid of work. It's not that hard. And then what you do is you start adjusting, Deepak. You start saying, okay, wait a minute. This joker said this the last time. I'm going to fix that. And you make adjustments as you start to talk to people. So God bless you guys.
Thank you, Ace.
As Miguel and Laszlo and his team used to say, we say it now, happy closings, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care.
All right, guys.